Alright everyone, so let's talk about microbes because microbes is one of the simplest fish foods to culture, and this is because they are primarily used to feed fish fries. So fish that are too small to feed on brine shrimp will find this as an excellent choice to feed on. So brine shrimp on the other hand are minute shrimps collected from saltwater ponds. Even after they are dried, they remain dormant inside cysts. So this cyst can be hashed as when needed, and after storing them for months and years, each cyst will contain one single animal. So brine shrimp takes a lot of process on saying you want to hatch it and all. But unlike brine shrimp that you need to subject to the process of hatching again, microbes are very easy to just feed on because of they are easily accessible to the fish, and they are being fed to worms that are to fish that are very small, because it's an excellent choice for them to just pick up and quickly eat faster than hatching of brine shrimp over time for months, for years, storing and so on and so forth. So earthworm and redworms are other popular sources of food for tropical fish. Yes, these are also easy to rear but are also in high fat content. They are very popular among some fish varieties like the cichlids. When you talk about the cichlids, you are talking about the tilapia fish. So what about the culture of some live food? Let's talk about how to culture earthworms. How to culture earthworms. I believe every one of you should be familiar with earthworms, and as you can see this image here, this is an image of earthworm for you to see. So earthworm are some of the most complete sources of food in nature. I know you don't know that. These worms are full of vitamins, roughage and calcium. They have rich supplies of protein too. Fish that are fed on earthworm grows at very fast rates. Yes, and this has been a beautiful choice for fish farmers over time as an alternative food for fish, because they particularly culture earthworm to feed their fish at every point in time. So large fish like cichlida tilapia will eat the adult earthworm in whole. Yes, while medium size fish will eat worms that are an inch or less in length. So the very small fish species will need the worms chopped or shredded. That's why you see, while you are feeding the big tilapia, the whole of the earthworm, you have to be able to cut it into some kind of chopped form, little by little size, for the middle sized fish to also be able to feed on it easily. So earthworms are blind, yes, number one, but they are light sensitive. They will burrow into the soil to avoid light. They are also temperature sensitive and will drown if their home is flooded. So earthworms prefer a rich clay free soil. So you can't find them on a clay soil, but when you go to loamy soils, soil that are used for plantations to grow plants, you can find earthworm there very well. And even earthworm is one of the characteristics to know if a soil is healthy for plantation. Yes, if you can find an earthworm living inside a soil, or it has burrowed inside a soil, it means that particular soil is fertile, right? So you can feed them with decaying vegetables and eggshells. You don't want to overfeed worms, as this will turn the soil as this turn tu- will turn the soil to sour. Yeah, so the simplest way to culture a small quantity of worm is to gather some very heavy sacking on the ground. So you gather sacks, just gather some unused sacks that you are not using anymore, put it on the ground to encourage the growth of worms. When they see that the place is moist and the temperature is sensitive, is moderate for them to grow. So just put those kind of sack on a loamy soil now. On a loamy soil, before you know, earthworm will start growing under the soil. Then just leave the sack and remove the worms that have clinged to the sack. So it's very easy, most very easy for you to culture as an alternative food for your fish.